uncles and aunties. Al Balon, that's the heartbeat. Black Fist be part of the army. Haile Selassie and Marcus Garvey. Big up Tupac, Illuminati. Before Bruce Lee and Mr. Miyagi, it's a black man that created karate.
Okay, and we're blessed. For those who don't know, this evening is called OMX Storm. OMX stands for Omo Wale Malcolm X. A little bit of history. Every year we run the Messiah Storm. And the Messiah Storm is a similar kind of event in honor of the man who we call the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Yeah? And we run that every year in the month of Mosiah, which is what they call August, in honor of his birth and in honor of the great things that his organization, the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League of the World was doing, especially in that particular month. And so this year, it being the 50th anniversary since the assassination of Omo Wale Malcolm X, we decided that we have to honor Malcolm X in a serious way. Yeah, it's called Mosiah Storm because Marcus Garvey said, "Look for me in the whirlwind, look for me in the storm." And we said we're going to do a similar event for Malcolm X, and we decided to keep the storm theme running. Why? Because Malcolm X was a part of the manifestation of the whirlwind and the storm of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. So when we was running it over, my brother Soldier MC said, "You know what, Shakara, keep with the theme. Yeah, keep with the theme, keep with the branding, Storm." So you're in the OMX Storm right about now, Kings and Queens. Give yourself a round of applause, Alright. I'm just getting loose. So we always like to start off by giving a little bit of a history, a little bit of a lesson in terms of the person that we're honoring today. Yeah? So, is everybody with me? Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah. Alright, so we have some call and response that we do, that we engage in. Yeah? Whenever we have events like these. When it's Mosiah Storm, we say, "Garvey lives? Mosiah lives." But now it's OMX Storm, yeah? And so, there's a couple shouts, calls and answer that people used to run, yeah, when we were dealing with Malcolm X. And one of the things that people said about Malcolm X is that he was a die-hard revolutionary. With Malcolm X, you got what he was giving you, no questions asked, and he was no sellout. So whenever somebody says Malcolm X's name, the person responds, "No sellout." So I'm gonna say Malcolm X, and you're gonna say no sellout. Malcolm X, no sellout. Malcolm X, no sellout. Malcolm X, no sellout. And there's one thing that Malcolm X was dealing with, you know, he was dealing with freedom by any means necessary. So I'm gonna say freedom, you're gonna say by any means necessary. Freedom, by any means necessary. Freedom, by any means necessary. Freedom, by any means necessary.
We managed to lock him down at last. The promoter of Omo Wale X Storm, sensational event. Co-host with me on Music Tones and Vibrations every Saturday morning on Supreme Radio. My young brother Shakara, big ups.
Thank you very much.
Every time.
Thank you very
Excellent
much.
show.
Thanks.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
How do you feel?
To be honest, the words, I can't even find the words. I was saying on the stage, it's emotional at the moment. And I give thanks. I'm humbled by the turnout. I'm humbled by the energy that each performer brought to the stage. I'm humbled by the feedback, you know, and just to create this platform for music with a message and it be such a successful event, and even just knowing that we ain't even really reached where we can go yet, you know what I mean? So the vision is high and the energy is high right now. So yeah, I'm feeling there's a lot of things going through my spirit and my mind right now, but we'll give thanks. You know?
I must say, I think Omo Wale Malcolm X would have been very proud of the representation today.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and it was, as you said, excellent turnout. And despite all the pitfalls, what do you feel, or where do you feel the event is going to be going in the future?
Boy, we've got a lot of plans still, because just to say clearly that this is a collective effort. I'm part of an organisation called the Al-Qaeda Revivalist Movement, and we are the army, so that's the Al-Qaeda Revivalist Movement youth, yeah? Although some of us question whether we're still youth, but we're catering for the youth, if that makes sense, so we're still army. And so we have a lot of different plans. We want to make events like this commonplace, bigger, economically viable as well, just what I'm saying. and through connecting with like-minded brothers and sisters who are also building institutions, we'll be able to have our own platforms to push our own music and create our own mainstream. Because we are the mainstream. They're not the mainstream. Because we're in touch with nature, you know what I'm saying? And so when it comes to the river and the ocean and the flow, we are the mainstream. So when we learn them lessons there, we have to just understand that it's the power of us collectively. So wherever I see it going is just more collective efforts, and this is why I'm so blessed to be sharing this space with Kush and other, you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters who are doing things. It's about bringing those energies together, consolidating the work and making it happen.
Malcolm X's father was killed by the Ku Klux Klan. Why? Because he was an uppity Negro. Too busy running around the United States of America in every state that he went into, building branches of the UNIA, organizing black people for African liberation. They had to get rid of him. Yeah, so they killed him, bashed his head in, yeah, and left his body lying across the tracks of a streetcar. So when the train came, it would run him in half. Yeah, that's why they killed Malcolm X, his father. Not only did they kill his father, they killed 4 of his father's brothers because they were also activists and Garvey as kings and queens. Yeah, as a result of losing those uncles, and her husband, Louise Little, suffered a mental breakdown eventually, yeah, and was subjected to a mental health institution. As a result, the American state broke up the Little family, sent one of the brothers and sisters to that house and this house and other houses. And because of that, and what Malcolm X suffered in his schooling experience, Malcolm X dropped out of school and began to run the streets, became a hustler. Malcolm X said, in his own words, that he became an extreme delinquent. And they talk about juvenile delinquents nowadays. Malcolm X said he was an extreme delinquent. That means, in layman's terms, he wasn't just any bad man, he was the real bad man. The African Dangagan bad man. The bad man of bad mans. An extreme. You have to stay in tune, you have to stay in tune. Real bad man, yeah? So he used to deal drugs, take drugs, yeah, deal women, yeah, run numbers, yeah, well, pimping. Well, he wasn't necessarily official pimping, but what he used to do, he was a middleman between the customer and the pimp. So he knew where the customer was, he knew where the pimp was. If you're a customer, I can get you to where the pimp is. You following me? Alright, that's what he used to do. He eventually went into burgling people's yard, yeah? And we speak about this kings and queens because Malcolm X spoke about it. Yeah? Malcolm X was very, very clear and very, very detailed in terms of his experiences in life, the roads that he went down, why he went down those roads, and why it was important for him to reform himself. So we don't come up here and let's deal with Malcolm X, brother minister, Malcolm X, and get saved and sanctified in our conscious abode. We have to deal with the realness of who the man was because he told us who he was. Yeah, and he never celebrated it, but he said that he spoke about it in so much detail in his autobiography so that it will be a lesson for each and every one of us. So we maintain that lesson as we teach about Omowale Malcolm X today. He became known as Detroit Red and eventually went to prison. Yeah, served in prison for a number of years, and whilst he was in prison, he was known as Satan. So you gone past bad man now, you know. Yeah, that guy well past bad man, Satan. This is what he was known as. 1, because of how virulent he was and how aggressive he was, and 2, because of how anti-God he was. He proclaimed he was an atheist and he used to lick out against God and cuss off God and tell God for good, using more colourful language than I'm using right about now, kings and queens. Okay, while he was in prison, his brothers and sisters came to him with the message of an organization. That organization, they said, was a mirror of the organization of Mr. Garvey, the UNIA ACL, which they were raised in. Yeah, his brother Wilfred said that when they found out about the Nation of Islam, yeah, they didn't need to be too far convinced about how proud they should be to be African or black, because they were already indoctrinated with it as children in their very, very young years. So they came to Omowale Malcolm X in prison with the message of the Nation of Islam, which was led by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And Malcolm X, cut a long story short, like many of his brothers and sisters, joined the movement. Moving forward.
How did you manage to put the artists that you got together? Because everybody kind of complimented each other tonight, didn't they? Really?
It's a science, you know. Like when having put together events for quite a while, I like to balance it. It's a science. And sometimes it's not as balanced as I would like to be, just based upon availability. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple of artists that I tried to get for this event that couldn't make it for whatever reason. But as they say, there's no mistakes. So and sometimes not just even who you have on the bill, it's how you place them on the bill as well. So really, how we get them all together is just through the love. You know what I'm saying? These are the artists that I respect. If you know they're honest with me, they have a respect for me too. So we was able to reach out and then work out whatever economics that we needed to work out, but it was really based upon the love and the concept as well. So yeah, the concept as well, because we're dealing with Omowale Malcolm X, and this is a man that deserves honor. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean. So when you reach out to our artists who understands that legacy, they're willing to come and give of themselves to honor a man like Malcolm X. You see what I'm saying? And them things are important before we get to any business, any economics, any status in terms of who our artist is and whatever else like that. It's the principles. Yeah, and people like Omowale Malcolm X set the foundation of principles, and so when we have common principles, then that's what the foundation is. So that's really what brought all the artists in together today. You know what I mean? That common vision that we have, and I'm just blessed to be a part of it, to be honest with you.
Just to clarify, Pigan, when we say Omowale Malcolm X, we're not making up nothing, because some people think that we really give the man the name Omowale. And I'll say it, God. Taken from the autobiography of Malcolm X, Malcolm X speaking about his journey whilst he was in Nigeria. Let it be known, kings and queens, that Malcolm X spent but only a few months in Mecca. Let's say weeks in Mecca. Spent 6 months out of the last year of his life on the African continent. Yeah, connecting with brothers and sisters on the African continent and studying the conditions of African people on the African continent. You follow me? Yeah. So whilst he was in Nigeria, he said, he was speaking at a students' union, and the students were so inspired by what he had to say, they blessed him with honor. He says, with the membership, I was given a new name, Omowale. It means in the Yoruba language. Any Yoruba in the house? Yes, there's always one Yoruba somewhere about the place. There's never not one Yoruba about. Any Nigerians in the house? It's the first time I'm in the place now, and I ask about Nigerians, and they just put out their hand. Kilo Shelley. Anyway. So he goes Yoruba. It means in the Yoruba language, the son who has come home, or the son who has returned. I meant it when I told them that it was the greatest, told them I had never received a more treasured honor. So we say Omowale Malcolm X because he said he had never received a more treasured honor.
Being as we haven't got much time today, what's the next event? When's it coming? When can we look forward to some more of the same tonight? Because you know we need to be making this happen on a regular basis, right? Yeah,
well, obviously we have Messiah Storm annually. Yeah, last year's Messiah Storm was just as humbling as this event right here. So that's going to be in Messiah, but between now and then, there's a lot of things building, some of which I can't even talk about, but what I'm going to say for now is I'm part of a spoken word collective called Best Kept Secret. Big up my big brothers and sisters, Aminoir, Oneness and Tugstar, and we're in the process of bringing something to the people. We do spoken word theatre, and we've been off stage for a while, but when we collectivize that effort, it's a major thing. So if those brothers and sisters may have seen us do Gangland, where we broke down the whole gang situation and the history of it and its contemporary manifestation and consequences and solutions in a piece of spoken word theatre. We had Tugstar for president. Long before anybody knew who Barack Obama was, Tugstar was writing a poetical presidential manifesto. So we developed a piece around a presidential campaign for Tugstar for president, looking at if you was going to put up a candidate, what would they address from our perspective and these kinds of things. And that was a magnificent thing, you know what I mean, that went sell out all certain theatres in the West End and kind of things there. So we ain't done that for a while, and what we've got right at the moment is set to really contextualize a lot of our present day reality. And I do my thing as Shakara, but I always feel best when I'm part of that collective effort of Best Kept Secret. an army or whatever collective effort it is, you know. So yeah, man, I love it. I love it. Yeah.
And when the UNIA was establishing itself, they were doing two things. One of the things that they were going to do is teach African languages to African people in the Americas. Yeah? The OAA, what did I say? Sorry. The OAAU, whatever I say is not that, it's the OAAU, alright? The other thing that they were going to do is build an art center. They were looking to build an art center in Harlem that was centered around African people developing their own art, yeah? Learning about the cultures of their motherland and developing their own artistic endeavors with that knowledge.
Yeah.
That is the reason why we have OMX Storm Today, Kings and Queens, in honor of that particular effort.
Right now we say 10-9 Warrior, this is Shakara saying African power for all African people, and you're tuned into Got Kush TV. Bless.
There was empires in Africa called Kush, Timbuktu, where every race came to get books. My success to you, even if you wish me the opposite. Sooner or later we'll all see who the prophet is.
In the Storm, and we said we we're going to do a similar event for Malcolm X, and we decided to keep the Storm theme running. Why? Because Malcolm X was a part of the manifestation of the whirlwind and the storm of Malcolm Mosiah Garvey. So when we was running it over, my brother Soldier MC said, you know what, Shakara, keep with the theme. Yeah, keep with the theme, keep with the...
And armies, Al-K Ballon, that's the heartbeat. Black Fist be part of the army. Haile Selassie and Marcus Garvey. Big up Tupac Illuminati. Before Bruce Lee and Mr. Miyagi, it's that black man that created karate.
Hey, and we're blessed. For those who don't know, this evening is called OMX Storm. OMX stands for Omar Wale Malcolm X. A little bit of history. Every year we run the Mosiah Storm. And the Mosiah Storm is a similar kind of event in honor of the man who we call the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Yeah? And we run that every year in the month of Mosiah, which is what they call August, in honor of his birth and in honor of the great things that his organization, the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League of the World was doing, especially in that particular month. And so this year, it being the 50th anniversary since the assassination of Omar Wale Malcolm X, we decided that we have to honor Malcolm X in a serious way. Yeah, it's called Mosiah Storm because Marcus Garvey said, look for me in the whirlwind, look for me. Branding Storm. So you're in the OMX Storm right about now, Kings and Queens. Give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. Alright. I'm just getting loose. So we always like to start off by giving a little bit of a history, a little bit of a lesson in terms of the person that we're honoring today. Yeah? So is everybody with me?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Yeah. Alright, so we